Hey everybody, this is AYG's Alpha Team, here with another video for the Division. This is going to be the weekly vendor reset for all the open world vendors for December 8th, 2017. As always, we're going to start right here in the terminal. Now there are two new vendors with the 1.8 update. They're both at Camp Clinton, and they are included in this video. They will continually and forever be included in all the weekly vendor reset videos. There were no changes to the Dark Zone vendors. They are all the same. Well, I mean, they're all the same in the sense that there are no new ones and they're not in different positions or anything. So the only real change with 1.8 for the vendors was Camp Clinton. And there's a special blueprints vendor there, there's a premium vendor there, there's also a special equipments vendor just like here at the terminal. So I will be going over the special equipments vendor there and the special blueprints vendor because they are different. They don't have the same stuff as they do at the terminal. And just another update on what you're seeing. Now, if you look at the scores now, you can see that they're all not 256 because the new gear score numbers reflect the quality of item you get. So there's no change to the actual damage that they put out, but they do show you how good the gear is in relation to the numbers it can produce. So what that means is if you have a regular high-end piece of gear or a regular gear set item that's not classified, it will be a max 286 gear score. Now, if you have an exotic piece of gear or a classified gear set item, it will be upwards of 290 gear score. And those do reflect on your overall gear score. So what you'll see from the vendors is mainly to the 290. The 286 gear score. So you can see right here the special blueprints vendor doesn't have any 256 or higher gear for me, so I'm not going to look through that. I'm going back here to the post office. So you can see all these gear scores like 276, 277, 281. They're supposed to be a reflection on how good the roll is for the gear. So the higher the number, the closer it is to getting mid-max. So right here you can see 90.3k on that tactician, that M700 tactical. That means that the gear itself is going to be closer to the max damage output and the max headshot damage for that particular weapon. Now, what those numbers don't reflect are the talents. So the talents are a little bit different. The talents aren't reflected in the actual score, so you still need to look to see what the talents are going to be if you're looking at the gear. You can't just go by the number. I mean, you could if you wanted to, if you don't really give a crap about the talents themselves, but just more of a heads up for you. And I'm sorry about the lateness of the video, and I'm sorry about these random delays in between the actual vendors. I'm getting used. I just switched computers, so I'm getting used to this new computer. And I haven't got the timing down yet because apparently it's different now for recording. That's why there's a little bit longer pause in between videos in between areas when you can see where I'm at. You know, like right now you saw me standing there right in front of the vendor for like a couple seconds, just like this one. So before the timing was different with my recording device. So I don't know why it's different now. I mean, it's a different computer, but it shouldn't be reflected in the recording. I don't know, but I'll work on it and I'll adjust it, guys. So here's new Camp Clinton special equipments vendor. Now he's just like the one at the terminal. He has exotic items or exotic weapons, the same weapons themselves. They didn't change. There aren't any different ones. And I'm not 100% sure about the gear score. So maybe the exotic weapons still only go up to 286 as well. Maybe it's the classified gear itself that only goes up to 290. I actually am not 100% on that. So I know for sure that the classified gear set items go up to 290, but I'm not sure about the exotics. So don't quote me on that part. But you can see these gear scores are like 279, 267, 264. That just shows you like you're not getting the max out of it. Like the armor on this reclaimer chest piece, that can go up to 2003. That's why that number's so low. So just kind of a better way to gauge what you're actually buying. But with the optimization station, you can actually just make all these awesome. So that's a whole nother thing. I'm gonna be doing a video on all the new additions to all of the PvE stuff and all the stuff you can do with your gear now. I'll try and get that out as soon as possible, most likely early this coming week, once I've had time to actually play around with everything, so I can give you guys a thorough definition of what's going on. But in between now and then, you can just watch my stream if you want, because I'm always going over that stuff too. So far this week, there wasn't too many new and exciting items. Not that I can remember. There was one particular mod that was okay, but I'll be doing a separate video for all the best items of the week, as usual. So you guys can stay tuned for that. That'll be a separate video. And we also do a separate video, if you're new to the channel, we do a separate video for all the Dark Zone vendors. So this particular video is just going to be the vendors that are in the open world, which is why I included Camp Clinton. So that was all of them at Camp Clinton. There was only two, you know, the special equipments vendor and the special blueprints vendor. So now it's back to the regular vendors here. There were a couple of damage to elite mods this week. None of them, to be honest, none of them were really good, because I mean, you automatically get 3% damage to elites, but you can get up to 212 firearms, stamina, or electronics, and they were in the 180s range, so it wasn't really like, if you were looking for a damage to elites mod, I wouldn't pick up any from this week, to be honest, because they were all really low rolls. I mean, they're purple, they're legendary mods anyway, so they're not going to give you that much, but you would want it. See, there was one right there. But again, I'll be going over those in the best items of the week video, if they're worth it. If they're not worth it, I won't include them. Over to the meat locker. And if you haven't noticed, the damage to targets out of cover number is now higher on the LMGs. So it used to be 15% was the max, now it's 22% is the max. So if you want to, you know, if you want to factor that into what you're doing with your builds, it's actually not a bad thing to do to pick up an LMG now. Like, I have to adjust my build, my Lone Star build now because of that increase. So I'll probably be putting out another Lone Star classified gear set video. If you guys want to check that out for 1.8, I'll probably be doing the same for Reclaim. Well, whenever I get 6 pieces of Reclaimer, I'll do that too, and for Striker. I could do one for Deadeye as well. And what was the other one? What are the other ones? Final Measure. Still got that one. And I think I don't have Sentry's Call because I only have 6 pieces of that yet either. So I think it's just Deadeye, Lone Star, Striker, Final Measure. And why? There's another one out there and I can't remember what it is, and I do apologize for not knowing it off the top of my head, guys. But I'll be doing separate videos for all those too, so stay tuned for all those. Alright, over to the Firewall. And then to the Crypt, finally. And again, I apologize for having this out so late, guys. I will be tightening up for next week. I just had to do a lot of adjusting for the new PC that I got. And that's going to do it. Thanks for watching, guys. Go ahead and leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more from REgaming.com. Also, shoot us a comment if you have any questions, you want to give us any feedback. It's always appreciated. Until then, go ahead. Game on.
Game on! Yeah, game on!